ever think about how we're always told to get our vitamins right? Like, they're good for us, but what about, like, too much of a good thing?
Right. It's almost funny, we always focus on getting enough, but texto pagado really got me thinking about this whole other side. Vitaminosis. Basically, what happens when those vitamin levels go a little
Wait,
haywire?
haywire, yeah, that's a good word for it. Okay, so too much sunshine, maybe too many carrots. We've all heard those can be a problem.
It's true. Those are more like extreme examples. But yeah, vitaminosis, it's when you have an excess of a specific vitamin in your body.
Mm.
And it's easier to do than people realize.
Oh, yeah, because we think, oh, supplements, I won't go crazy with those. But I'm guessing it's a bit more nuanced, huh?
It is. A lot of it comes down to whether a vitamin is fat soluble or water soluble.
Okay, so like oil versus water, they act differently in our bodies.
Exactly. Think of fat soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K as hanging out in our systems for a while, stored in our fat. And water-soluble vitamins, C and the B vitamins. They're in and out, they get absorbed fast, but we pee out the excess so they're not as likely to build up to dangerous levels.
So our bodies are hoarding the fat-soluble vitamins even if we don't need them. That doesn't sound great. So when we get too much, what happens? Which ones are the worst offenders?
Well, let's start with vitamin A, since you brought up carrots before. Too much of it can lead to some unpleasant symptoms, to say the least. We're talking nausea, headaches, dizziness. It can even make your skin turn yellow.
Wait, really? Yellow? I knew about the vision stuff, but yellow skin. See, I need this deep dive, clearly. So much for that healthy glow, huh? Okay, so what about vitamin D? You'd think sunshine, that'd be a tough one to overdo.
You'd think, but it can happen, and it's not pretty. When you get too much vitamin D, it messes with your body's calcium levels. The calcium starts to build up in your blood and can even get deposited in your organs, your arteries. And that's when you start seeing a risk for some serious issues, organ damage, heart problems, that kind of thing.
Wow, okay, so that really drives home the point that more is not always better. All right, vitamin E, what's the deal with that one?
Vitamin E is interesting. It actually messes with your blood's ability to clot properly if you have too much. It's like we need it for healing, but too much is a bad thing. Bruising and bleeding easily can be a sign you've gotten too much.
Not exactly what you're looking for in a vitamin. All right, last but not least, tell me about vitamin K.
So vitamin K, it's similar to E in that it also plays a role in blood clotting. Overdoing it can have similar effects. Thankfully, vitamin K overdose is super rare. It's not something most people really need to worry about.
That's good to hear. So, big picture, what are the takeaways for our listeners? How can we make sure we're getting enough of the good stuff without going overboard?
Honestly, the best thing you can do is talk to a professional. Before you start any new supplements, talk to your doctor or a registered dietitian. They can help you figure out what's right for you and what to avoid.
I feel like that's always the advice, but it's so true. Okay, so it's not like vitamins are bad, avoid them all. It's more like, let's be smart about this.
Exactly. And remember, food first. A balanced diet with plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, that should be your main source of vitamins and minerals. Supplements should just be that. Supplements. Something to fill in the gaps when needed.
So, moderation is key, even with good things. Well said.
It makes you think, though. Our bodies are really all about balance. What other things do we encounter regularly that are good in moderation but could have downsides if we overdo it? Something to ponder.